is Schenectady working on its reputation, with police officers and stuff
Schenectady
now?
is always working on its reputation.
Okay.
And what happens is, flash, the story comes up and everybody reads about it in the paper. There's not a lot of stories in the paper about, things that these departments might be doing right.
That's true.
Or all the different things that these officers have done during the day that they've done right.
True.
The different, they interact with a lot of different individuals all day long. And a lot of times these individuals aren't really happy to see the police officers.
Right.
And so if you
there's
do
two
that,
sides to every
exactly,
story.
and if you do that day after day after day, I can see where, you could tend to be a little jaded. It's not like a fireman when they go, hey, great, thanks a lot for saving me and getting my cat out of the tree, and this is wonderful, you're here to help me. A lot of times when officers are there, it's because there's a big problem.
I would imagine enforcing the law is not an easy thing to do.
I'm sure it's not.
You have a lot of titles, and one of them is Dean of Work Enforcement Development. Dean of Workforce Development. Did I get that right?
That's a mouthful, but yes, you got it right.
For SCCC College.
Yep.
Okay, tell us about that. What do you do there?
Well, the Office of Workforce Development was, up until last year, the Office of Continuing Education. We try to, through the Office of Workforce Development, we deal with a lot of non-credit courses. And these could be non-credit courses for individuals who are looking to come back to school to get retrained or trained for a new job or an existing job. I try to work with a lot of businesses to get them to either to come into the college or to utilize college resources to train or retrain their employees. That's one side of it.
Okay.
The second side is working with kind of the public sector, with folks like Schenectady Job Training, Department of Labor, to work with individuals that are unemployed or underemployed to help get them training. And one of the specific programs that we've been working on now is a Certified Nursing Assistant program. Okay. There is a very large call in this community for Certified Nursing Assistants, or CNAs as they're called. Okay. For many years, nursing homes and healthcare facilities would train their own CNAs. They would have a training program. They would pay the individuals to come in and be trained. And because of the economy, a lot of those programs have gone by the wayside. These facilities couldn't afford them anymore. But yet, there's still very high turnover and not really good retention in a lot of these jobs because they're tough. They're really tough jobs. So we started to look at the college, what are jobs that continue to be in demand that we can train individuals for in a relatively short amount of time that will afford them not just a job, but an opportunity if they wanted to even move further. We call it, in our profession, we call it career laddering. Okay. So you start out as a CNA, you're encouraged maybe to go on for a licensed practical nurse or an RN. You maybe decide once you're in that healthcare profession that you might be better suited to working administratively or in an office. But at least once you're in that environment, you can kind of get to see what all the other jobs are, and you can move from place to place. So we started out with that first rung, that being the Certified Nursing Assistants, and we're looking to try and increase the education levels for people as well as the opportunity.
And there are a select few that are chosen for this. So what are the qualifications?
We like people to have either a high school diploma or a GED to enter the Certified Nursing Assistant course. If somebody has gone right through 12th grade and can demonstrate pretty good reading and math levels, because we do some testing with them. But those levels have to be there so they can understand and get through, in a relatively short amount of time, a 6-week course that is pretty intensive in terms of what this profession is going to train you to do, and some things that you need to know about the body and about the way things work and transferring patients, and there's a lot to it.
So there's background checks, and there's
background checks, because the nursing homes cannot hire individuals with certain misdemeanor or felony convictions. Right. So we try to ask people right up front about those, not because we want to know about their felony or misdemeanor stories or convictions, but because we don't want to set someone up for failure. We don't want to say, oh, sure, yeah, come on in, we'll train you to be a CNA, and then you can't get a job because the nursing home doesn't allow it because
you don't want to
have
waste
a criminal
everybody's
history.
time.
You don't want to waste their time, and you don't want to waste the time of the instructors, and it's an expensive program to run. So you want to make sure that you have good people, because we work with a lot of area facilities, and we want to have a good reputation with those folks who are hiring to say, you know, the people who come from SCC are well trained and they're also very well screened. And so the more, the better your relationship with an employer is, the more people you're going to get employed.
And it helps the reputation of SCCC.
Helps the reputation of the school. It helps the reputation for the individual who's coming to the school to say, I graduated from SCC with a certified nursing assistance certification.
Well, we could talk all day.
We could.
There's a lot to talk about with Denise Brucker, but it was a pleasure
having you on. John, thanks for having me.
It
was great.
I hope to have you on it again in the future.
Absolutely.
It was nice
Love
seeing
to do
you
it.
again.
You too.